speaking. Now, with me is the divorce lawyer, Ayesha Vardag. Ayesha, what do you think about this settlement? Is £24.3 million a good one?
It's okay. I'd say it was the lower end of the band, but it wasn't a very broad band that we were working with. I would have thought 25 to 35. 35 would have been the maximum. 25 is not great, but it's okay. If we look at how it's broken down, she's getting 16.5 million handed over to her, and then she's hanging on to the rest in assets that she already has, as I understand it. We have a summary of the judgment, which doesn't cover all the issues. She was looking for 125 million, and Sir Paul was saying she should have about 15.8. It's obviously come up much closer to where he was pitching it. His assets are found to have been around half of what was originally proposed, nearer to about 400 than 800 million on that. No question of conduct, the party's conduct or any bad conduct as alleged, being raised in the proceedings because it was considered to be irrelevant. Its financial provision for Beatrice will be 35,000 per year, plus nanny, plus school fees. Paid for by Sir Paul, and they're not allowed to publish the details of the court proceedings or of any marital confidences.
And in terms of Beatrice, do we have any idea how long she will get the £35,000 for? I mean, perhaps
it should be until she's 18, unless there's an extension until she finishes full-time education, but normally until she's 18.
But that's very much a separate amount from the amount that Heather Mills has been granted today.
Yeah, that's right. That's ongoing maintenance, which is for Beatrice.
And I mean, I know lots of lawyers have said, of course, she would have got more money if she hadn't represented herself. It was quite a brave move, wasn't it, representing herself in court?
Well, it was a very brave move, and I'm sure that she acquitted herself well in terms of presenting her story. But where she will have run into difficulties is presented with expert evidence and argument about the amount of the asset base, which has come up a lot lower than she alleged, and she will have found it difficult to counter that as a layperson.
Yes, a very difficult situation for her, perhaps, to get her head around, you're saying?
Yes, exactly. And one would want experts, an army of experts, quite sometimes in these cases, to back up one's findings.
Although we're hearing lots of noise from over the road there. I think Heather Mills sounds as though she's walking away from the cameras. There's been a huge amount of interest in this, hasn't there?
There has. Well, it's been in many ways the case of the decade, the case of the century, because of the personalities involved and the profile and the money involved. And both, well, on both sides there's been a huge amount of media interest. So no, it's a historic moment in some ways.
Well, we have seen Heather Mills looking a lot happier today, just smiling to the cameras there. We understand it. I mean, for many people, almost £25 million. I mean, that's a huge amount of money. She must be pretty happy now.
Oh, that's right. I mean, it's not bad after 4 years of marriage, and it'll give her a good start to do whatever she wants and to apply her talents to her future. It's a very good basis to kick off from.
And we understand that she has now gone back into the court. There may be, we understand, some form of appeal then, her not wanting to reveal all of the details of this ruling.
That's right. I understand that publication of the more about the judgment has been delayed pending her appeal about that.
There has been a great deal around this issue of confidentiality. Media have been camped outside the court, not confidentiality, hasn't there? I mean, all of us knowing anything at all. Everything that goes on in these family courts is completely confidential, is it?
Yes, that's right. And it's interesting that Heather Mills' position was initially that she wanted very full and frank disclosure of everything that was going on to the maximum, and that position has changed, clearly. One can only infer that that's in the light of what's actually been said in the judgment.
Okay, well, thank you ever so much. Well, we will wait to hear more news from the court, but Heather Mills coming out today and saying she is extremely happy with the judgment. She has got £24.3 million granted to her here at the High Court. Now back to the studio.